Hello, welcome to my second video on Autopilot for Beginners, the Cessna 172 G1000 system. So today I'm just going to go through the basics of GPS and activating it, following a flight plan, and then in the second half of the video I'm going to show you how vertical navigation works. Okay, so here we are flying above the Caribbean. We're on our way to Fort-de-France here in Martinique. This is our flight plan. So we need to get to Bodag, IFF 10, and then down onto 10, that airport. So we're slightly off track at the moment. So I'm just going to show you how to get back on track with the GPS line. The pink line is the active part of the flight plan, flight path. So if we look at our display here, you'll see this line here. To get GPS working, you want this line over here so it joins up with the arrowed line. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn right, head towards that line, and that will get us back on track. Okay, so autopilot's on at the moment. I've got altitude hold mode set at 4,500 feet. So changing the GPS will not affect the altitude, whether I have altitude hold or not. Vertical navigation will deal with your altitude, but I'm not going to do that just yet. We're going to keep it simple. Let's get back on our flight plan. We're going to watch how it will fly us towards Bodag, then to IFF 10, and then towards the runway. Okay, so first of all, let's switch to GPS mode. So GPS mode you activate by pressing nav. Make sure you've got the pink information here. You can change through the CDI button. Pink. So we've switched to GPS mode by clicking nav, but you'll notice it's not active. We're still in heading mode, and this is because we're miles off the GPS path. It will not activate itself. Well, it will not pick up the GPS path just by you pressing nav mode, turning heading mode off. It doesn't matter. You're not going to get on it. You need to get towards your flight path. Okay, so let's take a look. Shift 2, go to this screen. Let's have a look here. So we know we need to turn right to get to Bodag, to get onto the flight path. So let's change our heading. I'm just using my joystick keys. Otherwise you would use the heading knob. So we're going to just go at a right angle actually. Let's get back onto this line. We're going to aim for that line. We're going to look where we are. It's going to take us up there, and then the GPS is going to kick in and it's going to turn us towards Bodag. Let's see how this works. You see here it's got the GPS flight plan my display. So that's what we're going to pick up. If you didn't see that, if you don't see that, then you just need to get towards this line. As we get towards this line, or as we're pointing towards it, we're going to get closer. It's going to come in, and then it is going to join that. GPS is going to go active. Okay, a little bit of a way to go. Let's watch. It's white now. It's armed. It's ready to go active. Just speed up a tiny bit just to get there. Still waiting. See, it's getting closer, closer, closer. And it's suddenly got, there we go, clicks to active, and it's turning me left now, and it's going to join that GPS path, then the flight path. Go. Let's have a look at the plan. And it might go left and right a bit as it adjusts to the flight path, but it will get there. Okay, so now GPS is active, it's green. Shift 1 going to see this display. Shift 2 for this display. Hit it again. Back to okay. So where were we? Yeah, it's hitting the flight path now. GPS mode is active. We're all good. It's going to take us to our destination. So we're coming up to Vodak, and at Vodak we're going to go on, what is it, about a 30-degree turn. So that's going to be imminent. Just wait, watch that. Here we are, 2 seconds, 1 second. Now 32, it's changing to 2. So it's because we're on the GPS path, it's going to keep us on there. And that's going to keep us on all the way to the end of our flight path. Okay, so when else might you want to use GPS? So in this, let's look at this scenario. I'm currently flying along in the Caribbean. I've got no flight plan. And let's say I want to head towards TFFF, Fort de France, Martinique again. So what I can do, I can click this direct +2 button. I can type in TFFF, just using the keyboard there. Click enter. Activate. Yes. So it's now set me on a direct route to TFFF. So let's go back to here. So we're going, you can see it here, we're going in the complete wrong way. We need to turn right. So we're in heading mode. Let's click nav, GPS, and in this case, because we're so close to the flight path, it's automatically picked it up. If we're a bit further away, then we need to turn in towards the line, which may be here, and then GPS would be armed, and then we go active. But in this case, we were so close to the flight path because we've just chosen it. So it's going to get us on that right path, take us over towards CFFF. Go. Right, in this example, we're going to show you how to use the vertical navigation in conjunction with GPS. So here we are again, Shift 2. We're coming into Fort de France again. I don't know why I always pick this airport, but it's just a nice, clear approach. So we're slightly off our GPS path at the moment. So we're going to get onto that path first. So let's click nav. The line is over here, so we're going to turn the heading towards there. Get back on that GPS path. And then what we're going to do, we're going to set the altitude and click vertical navigation, and it's going to bring us down to the right height that we need to be for the approach. So let's just get back onto the GPS track first. Close. So, GPS is going to go active any minute. Just wait for that. Go. Okay, so we're getting on to the GPS path now. Let's just wait till we're on it, then I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, so we're on the GPS path now. So if we click this flight plan button, we can see the next step is Vodak. Then we've got IFF10, then FF63, and FF44. And over on this side, it's got the altitude that we need to be at in order to get onto runway 10 of Fort de France. So by the time we get to Vodak, we need to be at 4,048 feet. Then we need to drop to 2,000 here at IFF10. We're going to turn towards the runway. And by FF44, we need to be at 1,400 feet. Okay, so here you've got the active VNAV profile. So what it's saying here is on this current route towards Vodak, the top of descent is is 6 minutes away, 6 minutes 20. So there it is there on the map, TOD. So what that means is that's, at that point I need to start coming down towards Vodak. So I'm currently at 4,600. Vodak is 4,049. So what we're going to do is we're going to set our target altitude here. It's currently 4,600. We need to set it lower than whichever of these we want to follow. Now, if we just wanted to get to Vodak and stay at the 4,000 at Vodak, we would set the target altitude to 4,000. But because we want to land, or well, we want to get on the approach to landing, we're going to set it to the lowest one of these, so 1,400. So let's change this to 1,400. You can use the altitude knob. Big one, little one. Okay, so that's set. So we set target to 1,400, and what we're going to do now is click VNAV. So you can see here vertical path. So it's white, so it's armed, ready to go active. Currently we're on altitude. Top of departure, rev descent, 4 minutes 48 away. So we're just going to cruise along now until 4 minutes away, and it's going to bring us down to 4,000 at Vodak. Then it's going to bring us down to 2,000 in time for IFF10, and then it's going to keep us at 2,000, and it's going to bring us down to 1,400 at FF44. So let's just watch this. I'll speed up time just to get there. Back in a minute. Okay, so we're a bit closer now to Vodak and to our top of descent. So if we just take a look at where we are. So top of descent is 30 seconds away. So in 30 or 25 now, 21 seconds time, it's going to, the autopilot is going to bring us down to that 4,000 feet that's required at Vodak. So let's just watch that. 10 seconds to go. You can see here we're getting close. 4, 3, 2, 1. So you can see VPATH has now gone active, and our descent has started. So let's have a look. So we're heading now towards the 4,000 Vodak, even though we've selected 1,400. So it knows that Vodak we need to be at 4,000. That's all it's going to take us to. Some other information about how fast you're descending. So all calculated by the autopilot here. Okay, so we've just about reached Vodak. Here we are. GPS is active, so it's turning us right now, so we're onto the path towards IFF10. And IFF10, the target altitude was 2,000. Way towards 2,000 feet. So it won't take as long to get to Vodak, to get to IFF10, but let me pause and come back in a couple of minutes when we're at IFF10, and then we'll follow the route in towards the airport. Watch how at FF63 it will start the descent then to 14. Okay, so we're a bit further along. Didn't really speed up that much. A bit closer to IFF10, probably 1.6 miles away now. And you can see our altitude is dropping towards that target of 2,000, which is what we need to be at the IFF10 waypoint. So that's coming down. VPATH still active, GPS still active. It's going to turn us now towards the next waypoint. So look at that. That was FF63. So if you hit IFF10, it's changing us towards FF63. This part of the flight path is good. go. So here we are needing to be at 2000. Well, we needed to be at 2000 at FF10. We still need to be 2000 at FF63. So that descent is now going to stop, and we're going to hold at 2000. So you can see it's switched to altitude hold mode. VPath still armed, ready to switch back into action shortly. And that will be in a minute 55 seconds. And then it's going to start bringing us down towards the 1400 feet that we need to be at for FF44. So we've got 1 minute 40, let's just speed that up. A bit faster. I have the speed up time button on my joystick. Mapped, so that makes it easy, although I do forget how many times I press it. If you do, go to your flight plan, have a stopwatch, and you can make sure you're back on real time. You could also look at the clock over here. So what have we got? 20 seconds to the top of descent. So 15 seconds, and then it's going to bring us down. VPath will go active again, so let's watch that. Go. So it puts the nose down again, and that's going to take us down to 1410. So the key here is you have to set your target altitude to be lower or equal, I think, than your final waypoint or the final height that's indicated on your flight plan. So in this case 1410, so I set it to 1400. If I had my target altitude at 2000, then this step here to get from FF63 to 44, it wouldn't bring me down. So that's bringing me down to 1400 feet, which will set me up nicely for my approach into Fort de France.